Amazon investing another $4 billion in OpenAI rival Anthropic. The company's big bet on Anthropic driving home how different tech giants are planning to win in this age of AI. Our Deirdre Bose is watching that in today's Tech Check. Just another $4 billion, Dee.
Just another $4 billion. And what it really tells us, Carl, is that these big tech, Gen AI darling tie-ups, they're becoming increasingly complicated. OpenAI, of course, partnered with Microsoft early, but Anthropic has been in bed with both Google and Amazon for the last few years. Now, it's taken investment from both, it's signed cloud agreements with both, and promised to use custom AI chips from both. So now as the race heats up and generative AI is entering the inference phase of development, Amazon's latest investment may be a play to bring Anthropic more firmly into its fold and away from Google. An industry source I spoke to this morning puts it this way. Anthropic is plan A for Amazon, whereas for Google, it's plan B. Google, he tells me, is better positioned in Gen AI when it comes to key ingredients, distribution, access to data, researchers, and hardware. So Amazon may need that Anthropic relationship more. Now, that goes the other way, too. As I've reported, Anthropic is expected to get 60 to 75% of its total revenue this year from third-party licensing to AWS. Google, of course, uses its own Gemini large language model to power its own AI products. Licensing, though, it is just part of the big tech investment proposition into AI startups. Perhaps just as importantly, Anthropic represents a market for their cloud and custom AI chip ambitions as that inference phase heats up. Now, in this morning's press release, Amazon says that AWS becomes Anthropic's primary training partner and will use its Trainium chips to train and deploy its largest foundational models. Now, that is just as much a proclamation to existing and potential AWS cloud customers that one of the buzziest startups in the space is choosing AWS. Another industry source I spoke to, though, he raised this question. What does primary cloud provider actually mean beyond just marketing talk, especially when Anthropic also still has a significant relationship with Google Cloud and uses their TPUs. So guys, this all feeds into a larger context of what we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. If AI progress is plateauing and all of these models are in fact becoming commoditized, the next battles will be about offering scalable, accessible, and differentiated solutions. And in that kind of world, Anthropic's importance kind of changes and evolves, and it will be an interesting line for them to walk, having two mega cap investors on its cap table.
I mean, it's a really interesting debate and conversation that's playing out, Dee, and it kind of goes back to the guest we just had on, too, who's talking about large quantitative models rather than large language models. But also, we are starting to see some of this materialize within that software layer, that application layer, too. And I wonder what early signs are or whether we can even gauge that yet.
Yeah, and I think this is one early sign. If we're sort of plateauing in terms of the development of these models, it's going to be all about the software and applications built on top of them. I heard your guest, he mentioned that this could be an interesting time for mega cap custom chip ambitions like TPUs and Amazon's and some of the others that are being developed by startups and other chip companies. So I think that a new sort of battle is starting here, and this is an indication of it, and this is when it's going to get really tricky, is how Anthropic and even how OpenAI is going to navigate those existing partnerships that were signed in, a different era of this Gen AI race.
All right, we'll be watching it. We know you're going to be tracking all of it for us, Deirdre Bose. Thank you.